definitely running late. Not by much, maybe like 5 minutes. So the time is 4:15 a.m. Believe me, this is I'm not one of those crazy people that are like, oh yeah, dude, you know, there's nothing better than getting up before everybody else and having a badass lift. No, it kind of sucks. This is not my preferred time to go and wake up and have a crazy leg day, you know. But it's kind of just out of necessity. Work starts at 7 a.m. and it ends at 7:30. And between going to the gym in the morning versus going to the gym after work, after, you know, playing around with it, I realized that going before work sucks a lot less. Plus, you know, I kind of get to reward myself by getting some sort of, you know, treat. I can't do like a Chick-fil-A biscuit or a Bojangles biscuit or something as nice as I'd like to imagine that. Normally it's just like a pack of beef jerky and like maybe a protein bar. So it's something. It is definitely something. But yeah, we got legs today. I was kind of toying around with the idea of maybe doing some sort of like shoulder or, you know, other accessory day, but I kind of left that up to just how my legs and glutes are feeling, just because after snowboarding, definitely were very sore. So as of this morning, they're still like a little tinge bit sore, so I'll probably take it easy on hamstrings today. But I think quads, we're kind of good to go. We're primed and ready. Now, because of how early it is in the morning, you're probably thinking to yourself, dude, how are you going to the gym? No carbs in your system, no water. What's going on? Well, that's not necessarily the case. I try to keep the pantry as well stocked as possible. And Publix had a sale on rice crackers. Buy one, get one free. So I stocked up on those. And they're just a pretty quick digesting carb. So as soon as I wake up, slam like 20 ounces of water, chow down on 2 rice crackers while I'm kind of getting ready, and then I'm out the door. I got everything kind of ready so that as soon as I wake up, I just have to fill the pre-workout, throw my clothes on, grab my stuff, and walk out the door. So I try to make it as easy as possible, but even still, I can run behind a little bit. I set my alarms for like 3:50, 4 a.m., and 4:11. And if I'm not up by like the 4:11 a.m. alarm, you know, that's it. There's no gym happening on this day. And I woke up I woke up at my 3:50 alarm, and I decided to snooze. And then the 4 a.m. alarm comes along, and that's when I kind of had the mental battle. Sleep Me is a very persuasive character. He said, come on, man. You know, you don't need to hit legs today. Like, you know, just save it for tomorrow. It'll be fine. I disagree. I think it is even more necessary that I get up and go. Just because I'm telling myself that. So, I'm pooped. I'm headed to my 24-hour gym. It's a little further away, by like 5 minutes. I don't know. I had a really killer leg day the last time I did it there. And sometimes when I go to the Y in the morning, I notice that people are more inclined to use like the one leg extension that we have over there, as opposed to this 24-hour gym where it seems like nobody really does legs. So I kind of want to just avoid the headache, you know, change up the scenery a little bit. And I do like the drive from there to work. It's a little longer, so I kind of have just more time to, I don't know, clear my head or something. So not too much left to say. I'm gonna keep this one a little shorter. I gotta slam my pre-workout and then kind of just wake up. I might record a couple sets in there. It kind of just depends on what individuals we have kind of walking around, but definitely gonna have a post car talk. So see you guys in a little bit. Good morning. Well, I guess I probably should have started the video with that. Just got done with a pretty, I don't think moderate is the right word, just a pretty solid all-around leg day. You know, didn't do anything too crazy. Pretty, you know, weight that was heavy enough for me to fail within like, you know, 12-ish reps of the set. I took it a little lighter on hamstrings because I kind of feel that whole pulley system in the back of my leg like still a little tense because of the snowboarding excursion. So I didn't go too crazy on that. I think I only did like maybe 5 sets after like a pretty extensive warm-up. And then the real star of the show is quads. And I camped out on the leg extension. This gym pretty much only has matrix machines, which, you know, if you've ever used them, you kind of know their leg equipment sucks. They're just like very weirdly shaped. I don't know who they designed them for, but like even the seats are like the seat for the leg extension is in the shape of like a trapezoid. Okay, it's just really weird. And then there's a giant gap between, like, so you have the backrest, but it's only up here for your upper back, so there's nothing really supporting your like lumbar. And you know, I just kind of find myself sinking into that gap whenever I'm like doing a pretty heavy set, and then my back ends up cramping and it takes away from the movement. It's kind of a mess. But I discovered some new tech recently where you grab one of those like just pads people would use. They're like stiff pads for, I don't know what people would use it for, because they're really thick. It's not like a yoga mat or anything. So anyhow, it's about like 4 inches thick or something, and I'll use that as a backrest, and that pretty much makes it a perfect leg extension for me. It feels amazing all around, really good squeeze. No back is involved in the movement anymore, so it's pretty solid. So just did a large variety of that. It's kind of boring to go into the specifics of like, I did this, I did set number 1 was so, you know, just random sets. You kind of get the idea. Finished off with some sissy squats and some Smith machine calf raises, and that was that, man. Showered up, changed, and I've already hit the gas station, picked up a, oh gosh, I got one of these, like, I don't know, it's somewhere in there. It's one of those like protein Pop-Tart guys. They're not incredible. They are, I know they advertise them to be this like insane, you know, it's a Pop-Tart but protein and 200 calories. It's not that good, but it gets the job done, okay? So I got one of those, and then I got this packet of like turkey sausage. How's that? So I haven't munched in it yet. Kind of want to just yap for a bit and then kind of enjoy the longer drive that I have to make it into work. And like while I'm driving, you know, going going through this main strip, I mean, I passed a Whataburger, there's a Chick-fil-A, passing a Bojangles up here. I mean, there's so many options, and it can be really easy to tell yourself, like, man, just got done with a really solid early morning lift. I deserve this. I deserve to get a, turkey sausage, buttered croissant with cheddar cheese and like egg, maybe some hot honey on it. That sounds great. Believe me, my mouth is watering right now thinking about it. I could pop by Biscuitville and be a happy man. But, I mean, doesn't that really take away from the whole point? And I mean, I get it's very subjective to like what your current goals are. Obviously, for me, I'm still cutting down. So I don't really have room for any like unnecessary macros. A large part of my diet is just kind of considering, is it worth it? Is it worth me eating this right now? In the sense that, is it going to fill me up and keep me full for a while? And also, are the macros worth it? Because it's never going to be worth it for me to eat like 300 calories worth of only fats and carbs. That doesn't really, like, it's very rare that I'll get to have something that is only fats and carbs. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't really fit, because I only have 2,000 calories. And within that allotment, I need to make room for about 200 grams of protein. So I can't really waste it. I mean, I need to hit maybe like 80 grams of carbs, no more than 40 grams of fat, and the rest is protein. So you're never going to catch me going to like Starbucks and grabbing a pink drink with 2 pumps of vanilla. As good as that would be right now, I can't do it because it's just carbs and fat. So if I had one of those, that's like 450 calories gone. And what do I get out of it? Maybe like a minute or two of enjoyment kind of sipping on it, but then after that, I am still hungry. In fact, I might even be hungrier because it's kind of like induced an insulin spike. And then all I've done is kind of shoot myself in the foot and give myself only 1,500 calories to fill up that insatiable hunger. So anytime I'm like grabbing anything, I'm kind of going for the ratio of like for every 100 calories, there's at least 10 grams of protein. That makes it a lot more worth it for me. And of course, I make exceptions here and there, as long as at the end of the day, I'm kind of hitting that macro goal. So like for breakfast, really it would be wiser, at least in like the caloric sense, to skip breakfast altogether and just kind of have like a bigger lunch and a bigger dinner. But you have to take into consideration all of the factors in your life. So for me, I just got done with my lift and I'm headed to work, and I've got to work all day. So it's kind of hard for me to say, okay, let me skip breakfast, because that's going to make my day pretty rough. I've got a bunch of responsibilities I've got to take care of. So I need something in my system to kind of tide me over until lunchtime. So that's why I kind of go for calorie smart options, things that'll kind of keep me full for longer, but I also enjoy. So I like the turkey sausage things. They're pretty tasty. I kind of enjoy snacking on them on my way into work. And then just to kind of fill in my sweet tooth, I get one of those protein things. A lot of people have a problem with like any of those like protein bars or calorie smart options because they're pretty full of like sugar alcohols and fibers and whatnot. I don't know, some people, it just kind of messes with their stomach. It might even make you feel a little like bloated. I never really had that issue. I can be honest with you, I could probably survive off of protein bars. Like, let's say I have like a 200 calorie like barbell protein bar. Those things are pretty good. If you told me that I could only eat 10 of them and that's it for the day, I don't get anything else, honestly, I'd be fine. I mean, I wouldn't enjoy it in the sense of like, it doesn't really like satisfy my cravings. I want to eat something a little salty at some point, whatever. But in the sense of like caloric intake and just like uncomfortability, I'd be fine. I could slam 10 of them over the course of the day and I really wouldn't have any problems. So maybe that's kind of a lucky thing for me. And like in general, when you're dieting down, you kind of have to come up with some creative options to satisfy your sweet tooth. So like one thing that I do a lot that I get a lot of shit for from like my wife and like any of my like spectating friends is I'll make a big old bowl of egg whites, you know, like 40 grams of protein worth. That's what, 256 grams of egg white. Okay, big old bowl of that, and then I'll just cover it in sugar-free barbecue sauce, and they will look at me like I'm insane. I don't get it. I think it's great. I think it's a very tasty treat. You know, it's just a giant bowl. It's got everything I like. Love eggs, love barbecue sauce. What's the issue? So, you know, if you're doing everything right and you're kind of being a little freaky with your food combinations, I think that means you're doing something right. You know, I've been known to just kind of chow down on cans of the, what are they? The Bumblebee buffalo chicken. It's just shredded chicken with like, I'm pretty sure they just mix it with Tabasco and that's it. And I've been known to kind of munch down on 3 tins of that and I'm pretty good. So cutting down, you don't necessarily have to like sacrifice everything you'd like, but there are like some things that you kind of got to do that'll raise some eyebrows. But ultimately I kind of make it work for myself. Like a big thing for me is I'll like hyperfixate on like a specific type of meal, and then I'll pretty much only eat that for like 1 to 3 months. And then after that, I kind of switch back to another thing. So right now the hyperfixation is sandwiches. And I typically, I'll like bounce it around between sandwiches and then like bowls of like stuff, okay? So right now my thing is sandwiches. Fucking love sandwiches. Maybe that's, maybe I was influenced by Scooby-Doo as a kid or something. But I like to make just kind of big old sandwiches and just chow down. And I don't want to sacrifice that just because of the cut, you know, so I make it work. I get like the keto white bread, 35 grams or 35 calories per slice. And it's like 1 gram of fat, 1 gram of carbs, and 6 grams of protein. And I would not base like my protein intake off of like whatever protein you get from these keto options, because like there is definitely some truth to saying like they are not whole proteins. But in a cutting context, it's not like I can say, oh, okay, I'm going to disregard that protein, because it's still something that's going into your system. You're still digesting it, and it's still contributing to your total like allotment of carbs or total allotment of calories. So I'm not going to try to hit my protein goal based off of like whatever protein I get from keto things, but don't exclude it either. You know, that definitely counts towards the overarching goal. But keto bread, a good slice of like fat-free cheese, and then just like a ton of low-fat, low-carb, like good organic deli meat. And that's it. I mean, solid sandwich. I'm not like a mayo guy, so condiments wise, I don't know if you've heard of this tech. It's called onion jam. So it's like a garlic, onion, sweet type of like sweet savory jelly. I don't know. You'll either think it sounds amazing or you'll think it sounds disgusting. I fucking love it. I put that on every sandwich I eat. And it's about 9 grams of carbs per serving. So 1 serving per sandwich. I'm making 2 sandwiches for lunch every day. Then a bag of like Quest chips or something, and I've got like somewhere in the ballpark of 450 calories. Of that 450 calories, it's what, 18, 24, 32, almost like 60 something grams of protein and maybe like 15 grams of fat, 20 something carb. I don't know, I'm freeballing it here, but that's it. And I am full for the rest of the day, and I'm like feeling pretty good. So this kind of ended up turning into a macro / personal preference in meals rant. But, you know, I think if there's anything to take away from this long rant, it's that do calorie smart options if you're cutting. If you're bulking, man, you kind of have free reign to do whatever. Like, I am envious of anybody that's bulking because you can kind of just do whatever to an extent. But if you're cutting, be smart about it. Levy like what the calories are versus how much protein there is, and I mean, you're pretty solid after that. So didn't check my morning weight this morning. I kind of just infrequently check it. No pump checks. We're still doing that for another couple of weeks, but hey, that's just the name of the game. I'm gonna head into work, enjoy my little impromptu breakfast, and yeah, I'll see you guys at some point. So take it easy.